Shri maathrey, namaha. With the divine blessings of our Mother Divine Lata Mahatri Prasundari and Father Divine Lord Mahadeva, we are continuing to discuss the Shree Chakram. In the last episode, we discussed the third enclosure, the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka. In today's episode, we will make a brief attempt to understand the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka Chakram. After the agitation and the efforts with persistence, one will get the results. Similarly, as we progress from the outer layers of Shree Chakram, the first one, Bhupuram, to the next one, the 16-petal lotus chakram, to the 8-petal lotus or the third enclosure, the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka. Now we are approaching the fourth enclosure, the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka Chakram. As the name implies, this is the chakram which will provide all the prosperity, auspiciousness, and the root for the prosperity is deeply rooted in the fourth chakram, the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka Chakram. The presiding deity of this chakra, the fourth one, is Mother Goddess Tripura Vasini, and her aids who are attending to her are called the Sampradaya Yoginis. They are 14 in number, and the orientation for this chakram is anti-clockwise. In the shared picture, you will see 14 highlighted triangles, which essentially are called Chatur Dasara. Chatur means 4, Dasara means 10, therefore making them 14. And these are also connected to the 14 nadis of our body, the 14 main nadis, which we'll make an attempt to briefly name. And the 14 is also the number of Manus. Manus are essentially the different lokas which are ruled by the Manus. Therefore, they are called Manvasras. What are the 14 lokas? We are in the Bhuloka. And Bhuloka being the neutral plane where we exist, there are 7 lokas that are below the Bhuloka, and there are 7 lokas above the Bhuloka. Depending on the punyas and papas, one either goes up to the different lokas, one of the 7 in the top, or depending on the papas, one goes into the 7 below. First, talking about the Patala lokas, or the lower plane of existence, right below the Bhutalam there is Atalam, right below the Atalam there is Vitalam. Vitalam is followed by Sutalam, Sutalam is followed by Talatalam, Talatalam is followed by Mahatalam, Mahatalam is followed by Rasatalam, Rasatalam is followed by Patalam. All the Rakshasas essentially live in the Patala Loka. These are the 7 below the Bhuloka. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Now above the Bhulokam, the heavenly planes, simply put, they are called the Swargaloka planes. First one is called Bhurlokam. Just above the Bhulokam, there is Bhuvarlokam, there is Suralokam, there is Maharlokam, there is Janalokam, there is Tapalokam, there is Satyalokam. Now, you might be wondering, the Dhruvalokam doesn't exist in this 14 of the initial creation, but Lord Vishnu, given the devotion of Dhruva, created it in one of the 7 heavenly planes. Therefore, it is not counted in the initial list of 14. Now, these are the 7 above and 7 below, which are also there in all of us, depending on the mood, the emotion, and the surroundings, and the setup, and context. The different emotions in us from either the Suralokam or the Asuralokam keeps coming and impacting us. These 7 Swarga planes or the heavenly planes and the 7 Patala or the lower planes are onto the right and left of our spine, just next, very adjacent to the chakras, depending on the emotions. The good and the greater good is powered by the heavenly planes, and the bad and the evil is powered by the patala planes or the lower planes. Now these 14 deities, if we were to look at their names, they all start with Sarva as a prefix of the chakram, Sarva Soubhagayadayaka chakram. The first goddess is called Sarva Soubhagayadayaka, the agitator. Before one is given all the Soubhagyas, until the last moment, there will be a moment of suspense, thrill, and agitation. And this is the goddess Sarva Soubhagayadayaka. The effect of the third enclosure, the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka chakram, the end of that will be the beginning of the fourth chakra. Therefore, the first goddess is called Sarva Soubhagayadayaka, who is basically essentially the ruling goddess of agitation. And she operates through one of the vital nadis of the body called Alambusa. The second goddess in the fourth chakra is called Sarva Vidravani. She is the chaser. She essentially ensures that we continue to chase and put persistent efforts in order to pursue further the spiritual upliftment. Sarvakarshni, attractor. Sarvahladini, ahladam, like Prahlada, is the delight. She essentially gives and helps us taste the delight in following these pursuits, and therefore continues to surprise us and delight us. Sarvahladini, then Sarva Samohini, the deluder, then Sarva Stambini, the stagnator, the one who actually hits a pause button, then Sarva Jrumbini, releaser, the one who releases again from the pause, then Sarva Vasankari, the seducer, Sarva Ranjani, the one who causes happiness, then Sarvon Madini, not Malini, Sarvon Madini is Unmadini, is the one who is moving in a maddening state. When the spiritual ecstasy is tasted, there will be a very fine line of difference between a madman and a true jnani. Therefore, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, all of them, a lot of times, behaved as if they are mad people, and that is called Avaduta Tattvam. This is Sarvon Madini. Sarvartha Sadhini, the one who accomplishes everything, who helps us accomplish everything. These are the 11. Then the 3 most important in this circle are Sarva Sampat Purni, the one who provides all the wealth. What wealth? The knowledge wealth, Buddhi. And this flows through the very powerful Ida Nadi. Then Sarva Mantramayi, the one who helps us chant the right mantra to progress in our spiritual journeys ahead. And the Nadi is Pingala. Remember, when we were discussing about Kundalini, we discussed about Ida and Pingala. Then the axis for Ida and Pingala, Shushumna, is protected and controlled by the goddess Sarva Dvandvakshayankari, the one who destroys all the dual thoughts and the dualities, therefore helping us realize the best wealth, which is Aham Brahmasmi Tat Tvam Asi. That which is, that is thou. Essentially, these are the 14 yoginis that are protecting the Sarva Soubhagayadayaka Chakra. And this is a brief attempt to understand this Sarva Soubhagayadayaka Chakra. Even listening to the names of these Devi Shaktis, which are also there in Khadgamala, essentially helps us recall their glory, and they helping us and blessing us progress towards our spiritual north. Stay blessed, spread the bliss around. Shri maathrey, namaha.